Hey Albert, this is Andrew. Just wanted to touch base with you and go through everything. I thought this would be more cut and dried. I usually can spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours on these, and I thought, well, I can do this one real quickly because it's Stanford Estates and I know it like the back of my hand. But the only problem is the basement setup. I had to cut through a lot of comps. We actually have about 9 good comps, and I'm going a year back, which doesn't work for appraisers, as you know. But I try not to sell to the appraiser. I try to put the pressure on the appraiser to come up with the value, which they usually do on a sale, not so much a refinance or a construction loan. But so here's what we got. Basically, your property is 1,325 square feet. I'm going off the tax record. And then I'm going to go to this. Oh, hold on. All right, I had to adjust my frames there for a second. But here's my 3 comps. And if you notice, there's no basements in any of these. The reason why is that when I go through the basement square footage, a lot of those are finished basements, and they're able to take a much lower price per square foot overall. But basically, I can't determine, by the sales price, how much of that is credit for the basement and how much of that is just a low price per square foot. So the way we do that is we start with the upstairs, figure out what the upstairs is worth, and then on an unfinished basement, we do a kicker, an adjustment for that. So basically, here's my comps. If you see this one, it sold 120 a square foot, 119 a square foot for a larger house, and 125 a square foot for a larger house. What I liked about this is ironic that I didn't remember this off the top of my head, but I actually sold this house. So this is 120 a square foot, and let me just walk you through it. This is the typical Donaldson house that I call it. It's well cared for, but still kind of grannified. It hasn't been de-grannied, as I call it. So it's very similar. It does have the hardwoods exposed. I do remember the hardwoods are in really good condition, so as the pine cabinets, etc. Very much like your house. It has a similar backyard, and by that I mean not much of a backyard. Yours slopes down. This one slopes up, but either way, you don't have a lot of grassy area. You just have a little patio. And I sold this one for 120 square foot. You can see how much work it still needs. These other 2 right here were a little bit nicer, but not drastically, and they sold for around the same thing, 119 and 125 a square foot. This one is actually pretty nice, but this one's larger, 2-car garage. 2-car garage, but not finished in the basement. And let me do one more here. This one was a great house. This one sold for $200,000. Again, they have some basement square footage, but it's not finished out basement, so I left that in there. So give you an idea, that's kind of what we're looking at. What really works in your favor, and the reason these come so close to each other is that the square footage on yours is a little bit lower. So backing back up to taking those numbers and having them meet the road here. This is the objective measurable factors that appraisers care about. As a lender, you know this. You probably stared at more appraisals than I have. But these are the things that homeowners like to talk about. They don't necessarily add a lot of value, but I take that back. They add value, they just don't add value that appraisers adjust for. They add value in that they bring more buyers, and buyers drive prices. So when I look at the closed comps, your house is worth about 120 foot. Feel pretty solid that as long as it sells for, it does as well as my Eldon Court, 210 Eldon Court does. The 120 is pretty solid. This is contingent upon the house being cleaned up, spruced up just a little bit, just a few minor things. Nothing major. And then we have the basement that my Eldon place did not have. I did a $10,000 kicker. It's possible that we could get more. So that would put it at 169, and then the marketing price would be 174. So you probably never heard these kind of offers or these numbers. I think what really happens is to get the bidding war, which 210 was the bidding war. Everything I've sold in there has gotten more than one offer. You've just got to have the pre-marketing. and MLS marketing. And I can go over that with you as well, just some of the things that we do different. So again, I'm preaching to the choir because you know what most realtors do, but just going through, this is our pre-listing marketing plan. I'm not going to go over these because everybody does these, but we drop notes on the doors of your closest neighbors to see who might have interested buyers. This is all started about 2 weeks before we list. We hold off showings until the property is 100% ready. That's a very tempting thing to get excited about, is once we put that sign in the yard, people want to see it, they want to offer full price, but we're going to kind of go for a bidding war with the best loans possible, such as conventional 20% down, possibility we get cash offers not based on appraisal. Of course, we do perfect digital photos. We always pay for photos. We create a home tour that we can then promote on YouTube. You know, we have to input on Zillow and Trillion now as well because of the MLS and those companies not getting along. We'll sync your home with realtor.com. That's one that I just have to verify that it's syncing correctly. We do pay-per-click ads, meme ads. Meme ads are ads that are text on picture that we can share on Facebook, and we create those social media links for our clients and other people to share. If we can get other people to share, and we get a better reach, because people get inundated with our marketing all the time, and that's back to client prepaid social media self-promotions. And then we'll take all of our current clients and we'll send out a blast. What that does is I have people that are on, I have about 5,000 people in my database that are not necessarily calling me asking to find a home, but it stirs something. So that's our pre-marketing. After that, we can go over all that stuff, but I think in this neighborhood we'd probably sell the first week, so hopefully we won't get into all that. But that just gives you an idea of some things we could do differently to get to that high price, and why with a for sale by owner sign, you're probably not hearing those numbers. You just not likely to drive the bidding process as well. So anyway, that's just kind of quick overview, and where if you're ready to go there, I'm ready to go there. But I don't want to take money out of your pocket. If you want to, I can keep bringing buyers. I'm going to make 3% either way, so I'm cool with whatever. But if I bring the buyer, or if I list it, there's a small chance that somebody in my team could catch the other side, and I'd make a percentage on that. But for the most part, I don't set that as my goal. I just try to get 3% to take care of my family. So hopefully that'll help you. And if you like that, anybody else I talk to, I can talk about those kind of prices. It's just going to be hard to get an individual in there to drive that kind of price. As much as it would be to switch teams here and be on the listing side. But I'll continue to follow Lois, and I always forget his name, and we'll try to get that side of it worked out as quickly as possible and get you out from under all the stress. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks. Talk to you later.